All right. The time I maced a bunch of people. Well, viewer discretion is advised. Graphic content not suitable for some viewers. Not suitable for all ages. Graphic content is coming. So, tune off if you're underage. Okay. So, it's like 2004 ish, I want to say. And I'm on my way to see the band Pepper. They are still. They just released their first album. They just released their second album, Stormtrooper. Anyway, they just released their second album. Kona Town is their second album. And they're playing little clubs around America. And I'm seeing them in South Florida with some friends. And before the show, the deviant I am, and the addict I was at the time, I took two Xanax bars, I want to say, and a few shots of Jack Daniels before I went to the show, and said to my brother, "It's going to be a crazy night." And went to the show, met up with a group of friends. We're in line waiting to get in. We're there like an hour early. It's a huge line, and we're towards the back of the line. And so to kill time, there's a bar I see in this little plaza in Fort Lauderdale next to the venue that's open. And I have a fake ID at the time. I think I've had a fake ID a lot of times. Anyway, I have a fake ID. I go into this bar. I'm like 19 or something like that. So I guess, anyway, I'm like 20 or 19. Anyway, I go into the bar. I order a double shot of Jack Daniels, and I tell the waitress, if I tip you $10, like pour it fat for me. And the shot cost $10, so I gave her a 20, and she pours this like half glass filled with Jack Daniels. And I asked for like a kickback of Coke, and I chug the shot of Jack Daniels, take my little sip of Coke, and this old man, I'm at the corner of the bar, and two old men are next to me. And one of the old man says, "Man, if you can do that again, I'll buy you the shot." And I say, "If you buy the shot, I'll tip her the $10." And the waitress is there also. And so she's in again. She gives me another full shot of like a half glass of Jack Daniels. I chug it, chug the shot of Jack Daniels, take a sip of Coke. Whew, I'm good. The guy next to me, swear to God, says, "If you could do it again, I'll buy you a shot." And now was already talking up the first guy. I'm like, "Man, I could do this all day. I'll drink like this all day. You don't know me." And he buys me a shot. I tip the waitress again, $10. Now I've taken these 3 shots full of Jack Daniels, and I've already had a couple shots before this, and Xanax bars. And this is one of the last flashes I remember. I remember a few flashes of the night, and most of this story is coming through the 7 friends I was there with, who had to save my life and look out for me. But so I remember walking out the bar and walking out just like with such a stride of confidence and warmth, and just like floating, like walking back to my friends. And then shortly after, I blacked out. I don't remember the whole walk back. I started to walk back, blackout, and flashes of the night. And so this is what happened. Normally when I get drunk, and most people when they get drunk, they go to a happy place, you know. Some people, though, go to what I call the dark side when they drink, and they turn into assholes and just become total dickheads. And normally that doesn't happen to me, and I didn't even think it could happen to me up until this point. This was the first time I had ever went to the dark side. I don't know why. I was having a great time. As you just heard, I was about to go to this concert. I loved the band. I was happy. And so, from what my friends tell me, I come back from this bar, and I'm like wasted, like barely able to stand. And I start asking people, I'm asking someone for a cigarette. and they like give me a cigarette, and I like push them, and I keep calling everyone doggy, which is, I don't know where I got that from, but I'm like, okay, doggy. I'm like, thanks, doggy. And I'm like pushing people, and I'm starting to get like mean to people, nice people around me who are being nice to me. I'm being a dick to, from what I gathered. So we get up to the front of the line, and the guy checking IDs and letting people in can see me coming like a mile away, like swerving all around, can't stand still, can't stand up. And like from like five people away, they shout at me like, "You're not coming in. You're wasted." And I'm like, and I try to like argue with him, "Man, I'm not wasted," but I'm obviously super fucked up. And he's like, "Go to the back of the line." And for some reason, like I kind of remember this flash. Like he tells me to get to the back of the line, and I went like five people back and just tried to like cut in. And he's like, "I'm watching you, fucking idiot! Like, you're done. Get to the back." And I don't remember doing this, man. And I apologize for doing this if you ever see this. I'm so sorry. But apparently, he was like kicking me out, and I went up to him and spit on him. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm so sorry, man. I've never done that since then, and don't know why I did it to him. But I spit on this guy, and I remember this flash. I don't remember spitting on him, but I remember this guy standing out. He was sitting down at this point in a chair, and he gets up out of his chair, and he's towering above me. And I remember like seeing this guy get up to towering above me, and me putting up like my fighting dukes, like I'm gonna do something. And then that's the only flash I remember. I don't remember him. Apparently he punched me in the face. He just punched me right in the face, and I fell down. And my friends came and like rescued me and took me to the back and apologized for me, and took me to the back of the line and were like waiting with me. Okay. So during that time, I guess like I had been, yeah, like I was saying, being a dick to people in the line, saying like "fuck you, doggy," and being a dick to some people. And oh, I said I was like hitting on people's girlfriends who were clearly with their guy. I would walk up to people like a guy with his girl around his arm and be like, "Yo, what up, girl?" or something like that, and then say "fuck you, doggy" to the guy. I was just being horrible to people, and people started to notice, and uh, they, I'm outside, and they sneak me in the back door by giving a blunt to one of the security guards, and he lets me in the back door, and I'm in the club for a second. I remember the flash of being in the club and having fun, and then I don't remember how it started, but I just remember being on the floor in the club getting stomped on by a bunch of people. Apparently the people I had been talking shit to outside had found me, and they were all drunk now and wanting to start shit. I'm not sure exactly how it started, but I just remember being on the floor of this club getting stomped on. And so my friends take me outside again. They rescued me, and I'm outside, and this the the bouncer who had just let me in, like I'm all fucked up. I'm on the floor, and for some reason I thought the bouncer was the guy who was just stomping on me, and I fucking kicked this bouncer in the shin as hard as I could. And the bouncer, who was just being nice to me, just let me in, was like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he fucking gave me like a soccer punt with some steel boots on. And I'm in the parking lot at this time, unable to get let in. And these people who were fighting me in the show find out that I'm like in the parking lot, and they come out and they start like beating me up. And I don't remember the beginning of it. I just remember a flash of I'm in the parking lot, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of dudes talking shit. It is dark. It's dark by this time. Can't see their faces really. I have my fighting stance, and I'm like looking around, and they're fucking a bunch of dudes like talking shit and like flexing on me, and blackout again. I'm getting beat up on the ground. They're beating me up on the ground, getting stomped on. Don't remember that part. I remember my friend, this girl Lindsay at the time, grabs me and oh wait, I'm cutting out a part. So they kicked me out. They kicked me out. I kicked the bouncer. Uh, my friends tried to take me. They put me in their car and drove away with me, and they're yelling at me of how I've been such an asshole and they can't believe I'm doing this and what's wrong with me. And I kind of remember this flash of just being in their car and hearing the Rocky music like pumping through my head, like dun 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 dun. Swear to God, this is they're like this girl and her boyfriend, my two best friends, are like yelling at me. The girl mostly yelling at me, the guy's chiming in too, and I'm just hearing this Rocky music in my head, loud as fuck, loud as fuck. And we get to a red light. I jump out of the car at the red light, turn and run full blast back towards the club, like hearing this Rocky music in my head. Blackout again. That's when I wake up and I'm fighting these people now. I don't yeah, so I'm fighting these people in the parking lot, and blackout again. They're beating me up. My friend takes me and she's like grabs me out of this like pit of dudes beating me up, and she's like, get in the car, get in the car. I get in the car, and all these guys are trying to pull me out of the car. These guys are like punching through the window, like I'm punching back through the window. It's like a fist fight through this car door. And I realized at the time, oh man, I have this thing of like pocket mace that I've had uh, that's on my keychain. And I like, as I'm like throwing punches out the door, I grab the mace with my other hand and I fucking let it fly. And I'm like, hey fuckers, look at this. And I spray just a crowd of people out there. Like I don't know who they were. I'm just spraying everyone. Everyone's by that door. I'm fucking, look at this, fuckers. And man, I maced the driver. My friend Lindsay, who was rescuing me, gets back in the car, starts screaming, you fucking maced me! You fucking maced me, Callie! You fucking maced me! And I'm like still punching people. She like whips it in reverse. All these people like fly from the back of her car. And we peel out the parking lot. And like she had a soft top and like a RAV4. And someone like slashed her soft top open with a knife. And that could have been my stomach coming shortly after. So she saved me. I woke up the next day with a literal shoe print on my face. Didn't know how I got home or like any of that. Anyway, I woke up with the shoe prints, both black eyes, like a few like cuts on my eyebrows and stuff. I still have the scars, like bruises all over my ribs and shit. It was definitely the worst beating I've ever got, and I maced a bunch of people. So sorry if I maced you.